about running into a fire. Not a literal fire like most people think of, but more of a spiritual fire. How many people have been caught on their bed, scrolling TikTok? In reality, you said you should have done that homework assignment or should have been reading your Bible. I know I'm guilty of that so many times. And really in all our faith journeys, I feel like obedience is key to get into the gates of heaven. My first point, which brings me to my first point, obedience to God matters more than comfort. In Acts 4:19 through 20, which is right in God's eyes? To listen to him, you be the judges. As for us, we cannot help speaking without what we have heard and seen. First off, the apostles, A, knew they had to have obedience, and B, obedience would lead to trouble. I know sometimes when I wrestle with my faith, it's more of, do I want to do this because my friends are doing it, or do I want to do this and live God's way? And I know for me that's hard at times. Acts 5:29, Peter and the others replied, we must obey God rather than human beings. So the apostles knew that they had to obey God over their own wills and desires. That brings me to my second point. Just because we don't hear from God doesn't mean he isn't present. I know many times when I'm in the car, I have music. When I'm in church, I always have an earbud in, or there's always music playing, like there's always noise in our life. And sometimes we just need to cut out that noise and listen. In Acts 12:5, so Peter was kept in prison, but the church was earnestly praying for him. At this time, Peter was in prison, locked up for sharing the faith. And how many times have we been able to share our faith but never publicly shared it? Acts 12:7, suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared, and a bright light in the cell shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him up. Quickly get up, he said, and the chains fell off Peter. A, this took an act of faith from God, and B, this was more of, how many times do we think, okay, I could have done that, when in reality, all actuality, God did that. I know many times looking at that, oh, I could have done that, but really looking at the big picture and the big scope, I couldn't be where I'm at today without God and where he has led me. In Acts 16:26, suddenly there was such a violent earthquake and the foundations of the prison were shaken all at once. All the prison doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. In this verse, it's pretty much just saying that God was preparing a miracle, and the miracle happened with tons of waiting and tons of patience from people. And even when you can't see God, even when you can't see God's working in your life, you can hear God's working in your life. That brings me to point 3. God works powerfully in the middle of a fire. In Acts 16:25, about midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to him. Even in the middle of their suffering, they chose to trust God. I know many times when I'm faced with challenges or different assignments in life that God is going to put me through, I know sometimes I won't be confident at the beginning, but God will give me that confidence in life. That brings me to this whole picture. Without not listening to God and not working on our faith and reading our Bibles, where are we without God? Because I know I sure would not have been up here today. To summarize everything, they chose obedience over comfort, they trusted God even when they couldn't see God working, and they believed God was powerful even in the middle of their struggles. Thank you.